friends, we want to greet you together with saying goodbye to 2024, the year of recovery and new approaches. We started in January in the internal city of Rome, and we were following the marks of civilization. And personally, for me, that beautiful walk was ended in one more Roman foundation, Augusta Vindelicorum, my beloved city of Augsburg.
I thought it would have been a good idea to go to Rome because Vanya, she broke her leg last year, and she was not walking as much as she should. So I thought, let's go to Rome and I'll make her walk to see all the famous sites of Rome. We were staying in one of the better hotels at the edges of the Villa Borghese, and from there we explored actually all the piazzas, fountains and palaces of Rome. And particularly one night was especially memorable, a night with a dinner on the Terrazza Borromini above the Piazza Navona, which was accompanied with opera singers singing arias from famous operas like Donizetti's Elisir d'Amore and Una Fortiva Lacrima. So Vanya really put her stick aside and she was walking quite a lot. For me, actually, walking, particularly walking in the mountains, skiing, was a passion all my life. And it helped me to get over many difficulties. And 2024 politically really was an annus horribilis, as the Romans would say, with the wars in Ukraine and the Middle East, with the disastrous stagnation, economic stagnation in Germany and the political troubles we had. So in March I decided actually to go skiing to the Engadine with my nephew, and we had a wonderful time there in the Upper Engadine in Sils Maria, a place where Friedrich Nietzsche spent actually his most productive summers up there. In May, however, we had to go to Washington, D.C. to say goodbye to one of my very esteemed and colleagues and good friends, Sue Brown. I went together with my former colleague Hafsa Al-Ulama, and we were at the funeral of Sue, who passed away after years of struggling with cancer. In June, eventually, we went on another adventure. Hafsa Al-Ulama, Bernardo, and myself, we did the Camino de Santiago, one of the old pilgrim routes through Europe. We just did the last 210 kilometers in Galicia, in the northwest of Spain, from Ponferrada to Santiago del Compostela. This was quite an extraordinary experience, and there would be a lot to tell about, but I think this would be too much for this Christmas message.
I'm following the routes, all these beautiful routes which Pius have done. I was once more inspired, very much inspired, to follow my climbs with my school, and we really had an extraordinary moment in May, having premiere of Le Corsare, the third act, and we did it with Konstantin Kostyukov, a great master who is now a professor in our school, and it was a real achievement. immediately after having a Cinderella in March and finishing the school year, I had some, again, health problems. But these health problems actually gave me the most important lecture. I mean, actually, I learned how to deal with myself, yeah, and I try to understand what my body is telling to me. And that was, I think, one of the most important achievements I have had almost in all my life to understand, because all my life I was always thinking and taking care about so many kids, so many people whom I like, and so on. And then I have never took care about myself, and that was a ringing bell. So I was like trying to understand, and I think that I understood what was the secret messages from my alarms in my body, and that was I would say a peak of this 2024. And in that moment, listening these secret messages, then I was standing in Augsburg in the sunshine, breathing fresh air, surrounded with the beautiful scenery in the garden. I was together with my friends like squirrels and woodpeckers and other birds, and I was eating the berries from the garden together with the chia and bio yogurt, and I was sleeping around 10 hours every night next to my dear Parsifal.
The summer months we normally always spend in Augsburg, and particularly this year it was extremely hot in Podgorica, so we were very lucky to have a place to go to where the temperatures were much better. So in Augsburg we met many actually friends. Marco came along with us, Vanya's cousin, for some weeks. Then came Predrag Jankovic, the famous accordion player from Montenegro, and he gave a house concert at the Gunterstraße. And we could invite actually some of my friends like Jörgi and his father. There was Hans and Bea. There was Ute Winkler and my sister. We met also Hafsa Alulama. She came to Augsburg once, and we went to Ulm together with our Hungarian friends, Szabolcs and Dori. Ulm, by the way, is the birthplace, of course, of Albert Einstein. So we went also to the Einstein House in Ulm. And musically, there were a number of memorable events. Hans, actually, he invited us to go to the State Opera in Munich to see Richard Wagner's Parsifal. And also by coincidence, on the occasion of the Friedensfest in Augsburg, which commemorates the peace treaty between Protestants and Catholics, which was signed in Augsburg 1555, Goran Bregovic, the aging pop star from the Balkans, was performing at the Freilichtbühne in Augsburg, and we went there as well.
Yeah, I just have to add, because there were so many events, like we were listening again, fabulous concerts in church, and with the great opera singers, and in front of this beautiful stage in Augsburg.
In the Fraunhof.
Fraunhof concerts, it's already a tradition. Then we were like having all this beautiful mixture of we are mostly listening now operas, because we are having too much ballet, so we are more in operas now. And we went to meeting in England to meet friends of Hadramaut and great Sultan Al Kuwaiti, and we had an amazing time in Cirencester, just outside of London. And all this Augsburg summer was really full of these events with so many friends and great atmospheres that we ended like 24th of August, packing our things to come back to Montenegro, and then the new events started.
Yeah, I should add actually that we met also Sverre and Nina in Cirencester, our friends from Norway, who hosted actually the Friends of Hadramaut the year before in Oslo. When we came back actually from Augsburg to Montenegro, we had actually another group of friends visiting us in Podgorica, my Mongolian hikers. So this was Eva, Neil, Bridget, Marilyn and Mona, who were coming actually from different places all around the world, from Perth, Australia, from New York, from Hong Kong and Manila. And with Eva, I climbed actually 2 4,000ers in Mongolia. And also with Neil, I did innumerable hikes in Mongolia, some of them together with the Mongolian president. So this was a very eventful time which
because we
had.
have also a house concert here in Podgorica. We had a great young artists performing. I would just say greetings to Andrea Jovovic, who was performing beautifully, and a great soprano from the church choir. So there was 5 days of real program, I mean, to show our beautiful country of Montenegro. So that was like, again, I was producing that event already from Augsburg, and as soon as we arrived, the preparation started, and we were really very happy to host friends of Montenegro now, friends, Mongolian hikers reunion, yeah. So that was like finishing the program. We had Gudrun Steinecker visiting us, then we had Hafsa Ulama visiting us, then we had Sergio Barbanti and his beautiful wife Letizia visiting us, also visiting my school, our school, and so it's kind of interaction between home and school, because for me, my school is my home, or my home is my school, and that's like going into the great finale, which we'll tell you just when we take some breath. Yeah, preparing the 25th anniversary of my school, which will come in 2025, we are already preparing a lot. I mean, it is a huge foundation, not like Roman, but very strong, yeah? And it is 1/4 of the century. I mean, this is quite a lot for one person, yeah? But doing all this and having cooperation with so many great institutions of the world, I got invitation to attend the 70th anniversary of Beijing Dance Academy, and moreover, our school was initiated to become a member of World Dance Education Alliance. I mean, imagine that a small school from Montenegro, who is fighting to survive, achieved, thanks to these good results which we were delivering from year to year, to become a member of such an important, exclusive company of best schools and academies in the world. So I went all the way to Beijing. Now with my invalidity, it was not just easy. I mean, I was like having my stick because Pius went to another anniversary, and so I was going with my colleagues, the members of the school board, and I will say thanks for Vida Belevic, and to Father Milan, we call him the father of our ballerina, who gave a great speech on that stage, which was really so impressive. And I try to share the impressions from Beijing because we have attended the peak of the celebration was in the Tiananmen Square Theater, where there was 500 dancers on the stage. And all this was done so fabulously. Of course, these are the ideas I'm following and trying to go towards, to to follow these trails or trails, like in climbing, hiking, and so on. And Beijing was a real success, and we gave one memorable present to the president of Beijing Dance Academy, and it was they put it in the museum of Beijing Dance Academy. And I mean, the moment of having this kind of understanding with common goals which are trying to achieve with the young generations, this was really for me like a big stamp into school history. And now this certificate is down there at the school on the very visible place.
I think it was very remarkable that Vanya's ballet school, Princesa Xenia, was invited actually to this event in Beijing for the foundation of the World Dance Alliance. You just have to look at the map to see the size of Montenegro and of China, and of course there were actually famous dance academies from all around the world. So while Vanya is in her 25th anniversary of her school now, I went to Germany to a celebration actually of the graduation my graduation from the Technical University of Munich, which invited actually all those who graduated exactly 50 years ago in 1974 in their different fields. I made my Diplom Mathematiker, which is an MA in math, and we were actually all invited to Garching, and a Nobel Prize winner from my former alma mater, he gave the speech there on this evening, Deisenhofer, who won the Nobel Prize in chemistry in the 80s. And I learned also that the Technical University of Munich, my university, is now ranked number one actually of all the universities in Europe. Worldwide, it's amongst the first 30 universities. So this was also quite an important moment, even though it made me aware actually that 50 years have passed since then. In November, we went actually to our annual meeting of the Friends of Montenegro to Dubai and to Abu Dhabi on the invitation this time of Hafsa Al-Ulama. Last year we were in Poland. This year in the United Arab Emirates, and Hafsa really went out of her way to show us actually all the great sites of the UAE. And the UAE, they have become really the Singapore of the Middle East. The economic activity there is breathtaking, and we had the impression also that it was the leadership of the UAE, which was founded only 53 years ago, which had a long-term vision for the country based on tolerance and vision for prosperity, economic diversity. We visited, for example, in Abu Dhabi, the Abrahamic family house, which is quite an extraordinary institution, showing a synagogue, a mosque, and a Catholic church on one and the same compound. And its expression of the religious tolerance in the UAE, where, by the way, this year also a Hindu temple has been inaugurated, the Bab's Hindu Mandir temple, which we visited on one of these days. So there we met with our colleague Grażyna Sikorska and her husband Jarek, and we had a wonderful time. Hafsa's relatives and friends invited us also for special dinners. We had one Indian dinner hosted by Shirin. And one black and white dinner hosted by Hafsa's friends or relatives, Mona and Nuruddin. So this was quite an extraordinary experience we had, and thanks to Hafsa.
Yeah, thank you, Hafsa. Thank you so very much. That was also for me like a complete pleasure, like having all this progress in front of your eyes. I mean, you cannot. Sometimes you cannot believe that it is important, and in just 53 years, it has been done. You know, being in UAE just now. In the UAE was born in 1971, like myself, in December. So this is exact moment when Jupiter was in Sagittarius. That's why this country is so in such a prosperity, and I can say for myself, being since
it was a good year.
Yeah, good year. Yeah, so we were born 1971, and now while we were doing this beautiful video for you, dear friends, I mean to share with you the impressions of this amazing year of recovery. Yeah, so I just want to say that we still have to, I mean, I have to blow the candles tomorrow, and then Pius, and then my son Nicola, and we have to do all this and finish another beautiful parts of agenda in the school, and then we will pack our things and
go to Spain.
Yeah, and imagine, so it is, our life is actually becoming more and more active and attractive, and instead of, we are getting older, but our life is bringing to us so much light and brightness, as the moments that I'm having every Sunday when I go to Orthodox Church for Holy Liturgia. And these were also the moments which were brightest moment in this year, that I understand how to step in front of Him and say thank you for everything I have, and for you, dear friends, and to my beautiful Pius, having these now walks and hikes through the life with him as a great hiker and champion.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you, also to those whom we didn't mention actually in our account of this year.
Happy and healthy 2025, dear friends. We love you.
Ciao.